Sudarshan, the camera. Pujari Devi is ready. Yeah. At Prabhupad Arti. So yeah.
So that end bit really makes me laugh. That's how we all should all be feeling after Sunday program. So I hope you enjoyed that. That's a new video intro made by Haridas Prabhu. So it's brilliant. He's really spending a lot of time in the studio and doing a lot of creative work to keep him busy. So really good output there. So we'll go over now to Srila Prabhupada Arti. Prabhupada Arti today will be sung from Rugby by Shravan Kumar Das and Shraddha Devi Dasi. Followed by that, we will have a video of Prabhupada lecture on worshipping Krishna within the mind. Followed by that, there'll be Vaishnav Bhajan by Mrs. Roy, and then Kirtans by ourselves from this household. And then Jai Radha Madhav will be by Aradhya, class by Raghupati Prabhu, and we'll have an Ekadashi Katha as well by Pranav Das. And then we'll go to Gaura Arti by Gurbani and Nimai, and main Arti Kirtan by Sudarshan. So this week we've had two special birthdays, Aradhya and Sudarshan. So they celebrated their birthdays this week, so they'll be contributing today, singing in today's Sunday program. So now we'll go over to Srila Prabhupada Arti. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma. Bandha Mohe Savadana Mate. Mohe Savadana Bandho Mohe Savadana Mate Mohe Savadana Mate Yahara Prasade Bhai E Bhavatori Krishna Prapti Hoya Hoite Krishna Prapti Hoya Hoite Krishna Prapti Hoya Hoite Krishna Prapti Hoya विनाशाय ते प्रेम भक्तियाय होते प्रेम भक्तियाय होते अविद्या विनाशाय ते अविद्या वेद ज्ञाय हर चरितो वेद ज्ञाय हर चरितो श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनर बंधु श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनर बंधु अधम जनर लोकेन लोकेन जीवाना लोकेन जीवाना हे लोकेन लोकेन जीवाना लोकेन जीवाना हे हा प्रभु कोरा दोया दिहो मद पद छया प्रभु कोरा दोया दिहो मद पद हे हा प्रभु कोरा दोया दिहो मद पद छया कोरा दोया दिहो मद पद हे बेकाश कुशु त्रिभुवना हे बेकाश कुशु त्रिभुवना कुशु त्रिभुवना शीला प्रभुपाद पतित पावना पतित पावना शीला गुरुदेव पतित पावना जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव निताय गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल 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 जय श्री जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद महाराज की जय श्री गुरुदेव की जय गौर प्रेमानंद
Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. That was really, really nice. It's lovely to hear the talkie and the nice flavour that you bring to the kirtan. So that's really nice. Thank you. So next we have Mrs. Roy, lovely devotee, singing in Bengali a bhajan. It's a folk song about the happiness spread by Lord Nityananda when he spread Krishna's name. So we do have Lord Nityananda Parents' Day coming up next month. So it'd be lovely to get into that mood of getting ready for the Lord Nityananda Prabhu's appearance day. So the bhajan is Jiver Anando Odoy Oilo. So the people's happiness has arisen and manifested itself when Nitai visited their village or town. As Nitai visited the towns and villages, the people could not count their good fate. Not only did he arrive, but he brought along with him Gosai. Nitai, you emptied your heart and gave us the Lord Hari. Nitai too has visited this town and village. Ramanan Roy also travelled. He wore nothing but a ram boli and a garland stitched in Lord Hari's name around his neck. Nitai too has visited this town and village. People living along the river banks who saw Nitai say, "Who is this lovable person who comes to see us? He has come to visit us. Nitai, the merciful one, has come to see us, the people living along the river. Nitai too has visited this town and village. Look, Gaur Nitai have also entered Vrindavan. Nitai too has visited this town and village. The people's happiness has arisen and manifested itself when Nitai visited their town and village. So it's a beautiful, beautiful translation and a lovely bhajan. So thank you to Sweetie, daughter of Mrs. Roy, for sending this bhajan, glorifying Lord Nityanand Prabhu. So over to you, Mrs. Roy, and we're waiting for your lovely voice and your lovely kirtan.
জীবে আনন্দ উদয় হইল, জীবের আনন্দ উদয় হইল, নিতাই বুঝি এই দেশে আইল। জীবের আনন্দ উদয় হইল, নিতাই বুঝি এই দেশে আইল। দেশে আইল রে নিতাই, জীবের ভাগ্যে সীমানা। দেশে আইল রে নিতাই, জীবের ভাগ্যে সীমানা। সঙ্গে করি নিয়ে আইল অদ্বৈত গোসাই, সঙ্গে করি নিয়ে আইল অদ্বৈত গোসাই। নিতাই আপনার বান্ডর শূন্য করি, জীবকে হরির নাম দিল। জীবে নিতাই আপনার বান্ডর শূন্য করি, জীবকে হরির নাম দিল। নিতাই বুঝি ওই দেশে আইল, জীবের আনন্দে উদয় হইল, জীবের আনন্দ উদয় হইল, নিতাই বুঝি ওই দেশে আইল। আইল রে রামানন্দ রায়, একটা নামা বলি গায়। আইল রে রামানন্দ রায়, একটা রামা বলি গায়। হরির নামের গাতা মালা দুলছে তার গায়। হরির নামের গাতা মালা দুলছে তার গায়। দেখো নই দেবাছি লুকে বলে এই সোনার মানুষ আইল। দেখো নই দে বাছি লুকে বলে ওই সোনার মানুষ আইল। নদন নিতাই বুঝি ওই দেশে আইল। আইল রে বড় দয়াল আইল, নই দেবাছি লোকে বলে ওই সোনার মানুষ আইল, ওই সোনার মানুষ আইল। নিতাই বুঝি ওই দেশে আইল, জীবের আনন্দ উদয় হইল, জীবের আনন্দোদয় হইল, নিতাই বুঝি ওই দেশে আইল। দেখো গৌর নিতাই আগমনে, নন্দে বৃন্দাবন লইল। দেখো গৌর নিতাই আগমনে, নন্দে বৃন্দাবন লইল। জীবের আনন্দ উদয় হইল, নিতাই বুঝি ওই দেশে আইল। জীবের আনন্দ উদয় হইল, নিতাই বুঝি ওই দেশে আইল। হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে, হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে, হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে। নিতাই বুঝি ওই দেশে আইল। হরি বল।
Hare Krishna, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Mrs. Roy, Maji.
Thank you.
কি বলছে? ভালো, ভালো. Very nice. It's very nice. Thank you. It's a lovely bhajan.
Thank you very much. I'm old to you see. Very old.
No, it was very nice. Sabine enjoy kiya. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank
So
you.
that was very nice, lovely bhajan by Mrs. Roy. She sings with so much enthusiasm and sincerity, and it's almost you can just feel it. It's lovely. So now we have a Prabhupada video. Sudarshan will share. It's an audio class. Srila Prabhupada talking about worshipping Lord Krishna in the mind. So let's hear what Srila Prabhupada has to say to us today. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, there is a story, not story, fact, it is described there, that one Brahmin, he was a great devotee, he wanted to offer very brilliant service archan in the temple worship, but he had no money. But someday he was sitting in a Bhagavad class, and he heard that Krishna can be worshipped even within the mind. So he took this opportunity because he was thinking since a long time how to worship Krishna very gorgeously, but he had no money. So he, when he got this point that one can be worshipped Krishna within the mind, so after taking bath in the Godavari river, he was sitting underneath a tree, and within his mind he was constructing very gorgeous singhasan throne bedecked with jewels, and keeping the deity on the throne, he was bathing the deity with water of Ganges, Jamuna, Godavari, Narmada, Kaveri. Then he was dressing the deity very nicely, then offering worship with flower, garland. Then he was cooking very nicely, and he was cooking parvarna, sweet rice. So he wanted to taste it, whether it is very hot. because Paramanna is taken cold. Paramanna is not taken very hot. So he put his finger on the Paramanna and his finger burned out. Then his meditation broken because there was nothing, he was simply within the mind, he was doing everything. But he saw that his finger is burned. So he was astonished. In this way, Narayan from Vaikuntha, he was smiling. Lakshmiji asked, why you are smiling? Then one of my devotee is worshipping like this, so send my men to bring him immediately to Vaikuntha. So the Bhakti Yoga is so nice that even if you have no means to offer the deity, gorgeous worship, you can do it within the mind. That is also possible.
Haribol, Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Prabhupada. So that was a wonderful, wonderful, enlightening words by Shri Prabhupada. So now we're going to, we'll be singing a bhajan glorifying Lord Nityananda. So it's glorifying the dancing of Lord Nityananda. So Sudarshan has the words, so you can actually read the translation as we go along. So that will be coming up in a few minutes.
The words are coming from Eka Chakra.
I think so. What's it saying? What's that saying?
Loading up.
Oh, it's just loading up. So it's about Nachere Nitai Gaura Gunamaniya. So it's a bhajan written by is it Vrindavan Das Thakur? Yes, Vrindavan Das Thakur. Glorifying the way the Lord is dancing with his associates, Advaita Acharya, and now how they're dancing through the streets and Vrindavan and Nadia. So please sing along with us.
There we go.
Nachere Nitai Gaura Dvija Maniya. Nachere Nitai. Nachere Nitai Gaura Dvija Maniya. Nachere Nitai. Vame Priya Gadadara Srivasayat Vaitabara. Vame Priya Gadadara Srivasayat Vaitabara. Parishadatarangana Jiniya. Parishadatarangana Jiniya. Nachere Nitai Gaura Dvija Maniya. Number 2, please. बाजे खोल कराताल मधुर संगीत बाला बाजे खोल कराताल मधुर संगीत बाला गगन भरिलो हरि ध्वनिया गगन भरिलो हरि ध्वनिया नाचे रे निताय गौरा द्विज मनिया चंदन चर्चित गाय फागु बिंदु बिंदु ताय चंदन चर्चित गाय फागु बिंदु बिंदु ताय वनमाला डोले भालो बोलिया वनमाला डोले भालो बोलिया नाचे रे निताय गौरा द्विज मनिया नाचे रे गले शुभ्र उपवित रूप कोटि काम जीता गले शुभ्रयोपविता रूप कोटि काम जीता जय निताय चरणे नुपुर रन रनिया चरण नुपुर रन रनिया नाचे रे निताय गौरा द्विज मनिया नाचे रे निताय दुई भाई नाचे जाय सहचर गन गाय दुई भाई नाचे जाय सहचर गुण गाय गदाधर अंगे पोरे धुलिया अंगे पोरे धुलिया नाचे रे लीला एबे बहु प्रकाशिला लीला एबे पाहु प्रकाश लीला से वृंदावन हे नदिया से नाचे रे निताय गौरा द्विज मनिया नाचे रे बिहार गंगा तीरे से धीरा समीरे गंगा तीरे से धीर समीरे वृंदावन दास को है जानिया नाचे रे निताय गौरा द्विज मनिया नाचे रे निताय गौरा द्विज मनिया नाचे रे निताय गौरा द्विज मनिया नाचे गौरा द्विज मनिया जय निताय
Very nice. Loved it. So who's next? You're going to announce? Anuragi? Who's you doing?
5:10. You better do them.
You're finished now.
Okay, Hare Krishna, thank you very much for listening. That's I really like that bhajan. It's a lovely glorification of Nityanand Prabhu, getting us into the mood, getting us ready for the Lord's appearance next month. So now we will go over to Aradhya, who will be singing Jai Radha Madhav, then followed by Pranava Prabhu, who will be reading the Ekalchi Katha. So over to you, Aradhya. And I remember it was your birthday this week, wasn't it? Yesterday, was it yesterday?
Yes, Saturday was.
Yep. Did you have a nice day?
Yes, he did. Sorry. Yeah.
You said that without moving his lips. Oh, okay,
He probably can't hear us.
Yeah,
Happy
he can't
birthday
hear
for
you.
yesterday. So thank
Happy
you for
birthday.
coming on to sing Jai Radha
Thank you.
Madhav. So Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Are you ready, Aradhya? Sing.
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kanja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallava Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamunatiravanachari Natiravanachari Madhava Jaya Kanja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallava Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Natiravanachari Natiravanachari Radha Madhava Jaya Kanja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallava Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamunatiravanachari Natiravanachari Radha Madhava Jaya Kanja Bihari Jaya Gopi Madhava Jaya Kanja Bihari Jaya Gopi Vallava Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Radha Madhava Jaya Kanja Bihari Jaya Gopi Madhava Jaya Kanja Bihari Jaya Gopi Vallava Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय जय गुरु महाराज की जय हरि हरि बोल गौर प्रेमानंद
Hare Krishna, thank you very much, Aradhya. That's very nice. Thank you for singing. And it's lovely to see your setup and, you're following in the footsteps of your parents. You've got great teachers there, great people, their teachers. That's really, really nice. I was just saying, Aradhya, thank you very much. It was really nice to see your setup. And it's wonderful to see you following your parents. They sing so nicely. And obviously you would be singing very well too. So that's really, really encouraging. So keep singing, keep learning new bhajans, and you can come on more and we can have you in the bhajan slot. That'd be very nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. So now we'll go over to Pranava Prabhu. Today, Putrada Ekadashi, so the day of Lord Hari. So fasting from all grains, legumes, and beans. So thank you for everyone now. So we shall be hearing Putra Ekadashi from yourself.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Narancheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Nashtaki Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai, Putrada Ekadasi ki jai. Let me share the screen. Jai. So Putrada Ekadasi, Pausha Shukla Ekadasi. The previous and saintly Yudhishthira Maharaj, the pious and the saintly Yudhishthira Maharaj said, "O Lord, you have so nicely explained to us the wonderful glories of Safala Ekadasi, which occurs during the dark fortnight, Krishna Paksha of the month of Pausha, December, January. Now please be merciful to me and explain to me the details of Ekadasi that occurs in the light fortnight, Shukla or Gaura Paksha of this month. What is its name and what deity is to be worshipped on that sacred day? O Purushottama, O Hrishikesha, please also tell me how you can be pleased on this day." Lord Sri Krishna then replied, "O saintly king, for the benefit of all humanity, I shall now tell you how to observe fasting on the Pausha Shukla Ekadasi. As previously explained, everyone should observe the rules and regulations of Ekadasi Vrata on the very best of their ability, to the very best of their ability. This injunction also applies to the Ekadasi named Putrada, which destroys all sins and elevates one to the spiritual abode. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Narayana, the original personality, is the worshipable deity of the Ekadasi. And for his faithful devotees, he happily fulfills all the desires and awards all perfection. Thus, among all the animate and inanimate beings in the three worlds, lower, middle, and higher planetary systems, there is no better personality than Lord Narayana. O King, now I shall narrate to you the history of Putrada Ekadasi, which removes all kinds of sins and makes one famous and learned. There was once a kingdom named Bhadravati, which was ruled by King Suketuman. His queen was the famous Shaibya. Because he had no son, he spent a long time in anxiety, thinking, if I have no son, what will carry on my dynasty? In this way, the king meditated in a religious attitude for a very long time, thinking, where should I go? Where should I go? What should I do? How can I get a pious son, Putra? In this way, the king Suketuman could find no happiness anywhere in his kingdom, even in his own palace. And soon he was spending more and more time inside in his wife's palace, gloomingly thinking only how he could get a son. Thus both King Suketuman and Queen Shaibya were in great distress. Even when they offered tarpana, obeisances obeisance of water to their forefathers, their mutual misery made them think that it was as undrinkable as boiling water. They thus thought that they would have no descendants to offer tarpana to them when they died, and thus become lost souls, ghosts. The king and queen were especially upset to learn that their forefathers were worried that soon there would be no one to offer them tarpana also. After learning of their forefathers' unhappiness, the king and queen became more and more miserable, and neither ministers, nor friends, nor even loved ones could cheer them up. To the king, his elephants and horses and infantry were no solace, and at last he became practically inert and helpless. The king thought to himself, "It is said that without a son, marriage is wasted. Indeed, for a family man with no son, both his heart and his splendid house remain vacant and miserable. Bereft of a son, a man cannot liquidate the debts that he owes to his forefathers, the demigods, devas, and to other human beings. Therefore, every married man should endeavor to beget a son. Thus, he will become famous within this world and at last attain the auspicious celestial realms. A son is proof of the pious activities a man performed in his past 100 lifetimes, and such a person achieves a long duration of life in this world, along with good health and great wealth. Possessing sons and grandsons in this lifetime proves that one has worshipped Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in the past. The great blessing of sons, wealth, and sharp intelligence can be achieved only by worshipping the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. That is my opinion. Thinking thus, the king had no peace. He remained in anxiety day and night, from morning to evening, and from the time he lay down to sleep at night until the sun rose in the morning. His dreams were equally full of great anxiety. Suffering such constant anxiety and apprehension, King Suketuman decided to end his misery by committing suicide. But he realized that suicide throws a person into hellish condition of rebirth, and so he abandoned that idea. Seeing that he was gradually destroying himself by all consuming anxiety over the lack of a son, the king at last mounted his horse and left for the dense forest alone. No one, not even the priests and Brahmins of the palace, knew where he had gone. In that forest, which was filled with deer and birds and other animals, King Suketman wandered aimlessly, noting all the different kinds of trees and shrubs, such as the fig, bale nuts, bale fruit, date palm, jackfruit, bakula, saptaparna, kinduka, and tilaka, as well as the shala, thala, tamala, sharala, hingota, arjuna, labhera, bahedha, saliki, karondha, patala, kaira, shaka, and falasha trees. All were beautifully decorated with fruits and flowers. He saw deers, tigers, wild boar, lions, monkeys, snake, huge bull elephants, cow elephants with their calves, and four-tusked elephants with their mates close by. There were cows, jackals, rabbits, leopards, and hippopotamuses. Beholding all these animals accompanied by their mates and offspring, the king remembered his own malagrin, especially his palace elephants, and became so sad that he absent mindedly wandered into their very midst. Suddenly the king heard a jackal howl in the distance. Startled, he began wandering about, looking around in all directions. Soon it was midday, and the king started to tire. He was tormented by hunger and thirst also. He thought, what sinful deed could possibly have done so that I am now forced to suffer like this, with my throat parched and burning, and my stomach empty and rumbling? I have pleased the devas, demigods, with numerous fire sacrifices and abundant devotional worship abundant devotional worship. I have given many gifts and delicious sweets in charity to all the worthy Brahmins too, and I have taken care of my subjects as though they were my very own children. Why then I am suffering so? What unknown sin have come to bear fruit and torment me in the dreadful way? Absorbed in these thoughts, King Suketuman struggled forward, and eventually, due to his pious credits, he came onto a beautiful lotus-bearing pond that resembled the famous lake Manasa Sarovara. It was filled with aquatics, including crocodiles and many varieties of fish, and graced with varieties of lilies and lotuses. The beautiful lotuses had opened to the sun, and the swans, cranes, and ducks swam happily in its water. Nearby were many attractive ashramas where there resided many saints and sages who could fulfill the desires of anyone. Indeed, they wished everyone well. When King saw all this, his right arm and right eye began to quiver, a Shakuna sign for a male that something auspicious was about to happen. As the king dismounted his horse and stood before the sages who sat on the throne of the pond, he saw that they were chanting the holy names of God on japa beads. The king paid his obeisances and, joining his palms, addressed them with gloried praises. Observing the respect the king offered them, the sages said, We were we are very pleased with you, O king. Kindly tell us why you have come here. What is on your mind? Please inform us. What is your heart's desire? The king replied, O great sages, who are you? What are your names? Surely your presence reveals that you are auspicious saints. Why have you come to this beautiful place? Please tell me everything. The sages replied, O king, we are known as the 10 Vishwa Devas, the sons of Vishwa: Vasu, Satya, Kartu, Daksha, Kala, Kama, Dhriti, Pururava, Madhrava, and Kuru. We have come here to this very lovely pond to bathe. The month of Magha, Madhva Mase, will soon be here in 5 days from the Magha Nakshatra. And today is the famous Putrada Ekadasi. One who desires a son should strictly observe this particular Ekadasi. The king said, I have tried so hard to have a son. If you great sages are pleased with me, kindly grant the boon of having a good son, Putra. The very meaning of Putrada, the sages replied, is giver of a Putra, pious son. So please observe a complete fast on this Ekadasi day. If you do so, then by our blessings and by the mercy of Lord Sri Keshava, invested in us, surely you will obtain a son. On the advice of the Vaishnava Devas, the king observed the auspicious fast day of Putrada Ekadasi according to the established rules and regulations. And on the Dwadasi, after breaking his fast, He paid obeisances again and again to all of them. Soon after, Suketuman returned to his palace and united with his queen. Queen Saibya immediately became pregnant, and exactly as the Vaishnava Devas has predicted, a, a bright faced, beautiful son was born to them. In due course of time, he became famous as a heroic prince, and the king gladly pleased his noble son by making him his successor. The son of Sukhetuman took care of his subjects very conscientious, consciently, conscientious, conscientiously, just as if they were his own children. In conclusion, O Yudhishthira, one who wishes to fulfill his desires should strictly observe Putrada Ekadasi. While on this planet, one who strictly observes this Ekadasi will surely obtain a son, and after that he will achieve liberation. Anyone who even reads or hears the glories of Uttarada Ekadasi obtains the merit earned by performing an horse sacrifice. It is to benefit all humanity that I have explained all this to you. Thus ends the narration of glories of Pausha Sukla Ekadasi or Putrada Ekadasi from Bhavishya Purana of Veda Vyasadeva. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you, Pranava Prabhu. That was very nice. Thank you for the katha. So now we'll move on to the class by His Grace Raghupati Das Prabhu. Is Raghupati Prabhu on? Can we see Prabhuji? Oh yes, there you are. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please at my humble
Hare
obeisance.
Krishna. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
There, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Good
Good,
to see you.
good.
How are you?
Yeah, thank you for coming on today. I won't take too much of your time. Sorry, we're running a little bit over time. So Aarti is at 6 o'clock. So I'll pass over to you. Everyone's eager to hear you and your words of wisdom. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, very nice to hear on the glories of Ekadashi, and very nice kirtan, nice program. So we have limited time, and I'm just going to read a verse from the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Then we'll have a short discussion on that verse. The last verse of Bhagavad Gita, last verse of the 11th chapter. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, verse 55. Mat karma krit mat parmo, mat bhakta sanga varjita, nirveraha sarva bhuteshu, ya samameti pandava. Translation: My dear Arjun, one who is engaged in my pure devotional service, free from the contamination of previous activities and from mental speculation, who is friendly to every living entity, certainly comes to me. I'm just going to read a very brief portion of the purport, considering the time. Anyone who wants to approach the Supreme of all the personalities of Godhead on the Krishna Lok planet, in the spiritual sky, and be intimately connected with the Supreme Personality, Krishna, must take this formula. as it is stated by the Supreme Himself. Therefore, this verse is considered to be the essence of Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita is a book directed to the conditioned souls who are engaged in the material world with the purpose of lording it over nature and who do not know of the real spiritual life. Bhagavad Gita is meant to show how one can understand his spiritual existence and his eternal relationship with the Supreme Spiritual Personality, and to teach one how to go back home, back to Godhead. Now, here is the verse which clearly explains the process by which one can attain success in his spiritual activities, devotional service. So this verse is a success formula to go back home, back to Krishna, in Krishna Loka. And in next few minutes, I will take some of the main points and do a short discussion. Umagyanatimirandhasya jnananjan shalakaya chakshulmilitamena tasma Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Padkamlam Shri Gurun Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagar Raghunatam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagun Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenbandhu Jagatpati Gopesh Gopika Kanto Radha Kanto Namostuti Taptu Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusuti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalptaru Bhayasya Kripa Sindhu Bhayevicha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam bangam langhyate giram yat kripatamaham vande paramanand madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Mat karm krit mat parmo mat bhakta sangvarjita nirvaira sarva bhuteshu gyasa mameti pandava. My dear Arjun, one who is engaged in my pure devotional service, free from the contaminations of previous activities and from mental speculation, who is friendly to every living entity, certainly comes to me. So, as we heard earlier on, this is the success formula in Bhagavad Gita, to go back home, back to Godhead. Although, when you study Bhagavad Gita, you will find various verses which are considered to be the essence of the text. Just like all the devotees here and know Sarva Dharman Parityajamamikam Sharanam Vraj. Aham Tvam Sarvapapibhyo Mokshasyami Masacha. As the ultimate essence of Bhagavad Gita. Then, time to time, you hear the Chatusloki, Bhagavad Gita Chatusloki, as the essence of Bhagavad Gita. starting from Aham Sarvasya Prabhu, Matta Sarvam Pravartate. Itimatva Bhajantimam Buddha Bhav Samanvita. From this verse to Tesamev Ankampartam Aham Agyanjam Tamaha Nashyami Atma Bhavastu Jnanadipin Bhasvata. So these 4 verses are considered to be essence of Bhagavad Gita. And sometimes you hear the 4-pointed formula of Bhagavad Gita as Man Manabhav Mad Bhaktu Madhyajimam Namaskuru Mame Veshyasi Yuktevam Atmanam Vidparayana. This verse appears twice in the Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter and then again in 18th chapter. So it looks like there are many verses which are considered to be the essence of Bhagavad Gita. But here Prabhupada says very clearly in this last verse of 11th chapter that this is success formula of Bhagavad Gita. So let us look at the different component of this success formula. First one is Mad Karma Krit. The Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, is asking Mad Karma Krit, that we offer our activities, all our activities must be directed to serving Krishna, Mad Karma Krit. We will go one by one. Mad Karma Krit. What does it mean in practice? That we dedicate all our activities to serving Krishna. Okay, time to time I might just check with you if you can all hear me. Are you all able to hear me clearly?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so Mad Karma Krit. In practice, this means that we direct our activities, whatever else we are meant to do or we are doing, we direct that activity to serving Krishna. In the purport, Prabhupada has explained this more vividly by giving example of a businessman. He said if a businessman is engaged in creating wealth, making money, and businessmen are very busy people. That's why they are called businessmen. Just to give you an example, many years back, Asian billionaires in the UK, they were interviewed by a major UK newspaper. And they asked him, how many hours do you work? He said, I work round the clock. Now this man has got so much money that he can feed 10 generations without working. And in his 60s, late 60s, he said he was working round the clock. So they're busy people. That's why they are called businessmen. So Prabhupada says that if a businessman offers the fruits of his activities by constructing a temple for Krishna instead of constructing a palace for himself, the businessman can live in a palace, but if they help constructing a nice temple for Krishna, then such a person is entitled to go back home, back to Godhead. The scriptures say that anyone who makes a temple, constructs a temple for Lord Krishna, for Vishnu, he goes back home, back to Godhead. So this is Mad Karma Krit. Even a person engaged in so-called materialistic activities, in fact, business life is a busy life and it's a difficult life, because you have to meet with so many people who may not be necessarily devotees. But that's one way to make money. So this is Mat Karm Krit, just one example of Mat Karm Krit. In Srimad Bhagavatam, you find example, famous example of Maharaj Ambarish, Mat Karm Krit. So Prabhupada gives that example in explaining how to become a Mat Parmo devotee. Mat Karma Krit, Mat Parmo. So Mat Karma Krit, or Mat Parmo. How to become such a devotee completely dedicated to serve Krishna. So the most celebrated example, one of the most celebrated example is Maharaj Ambarish. Savai Manaha Krishna Padarvindayo Vachansi Vaikuntu Gunanuvarnane Karo Harer Mandir Marjanadishu Shrutim Chakarachut Satkathuday. So now somebody can say that, okay, if you got money, then you can construct a temple, help the temple. But if you don't have money, especially in difficult times like this, then what do you do? So then Prabhupada says, then you can go to the temple when you have the chance to, and then clean the temple. Do any service. So cleaning the temple is also Mat Karma Krit, offering your services, your activities to Krishna. Next one, Mat Parmo. Mat Parmo is that having this complete conviction that I want to go back home, back to Godhead. That is the mission of my life. I want Krishna's association in this spiritual planet, Golok Vrindavan, which means making Krishna as the ultimate goal of our life. Mat Parmo. Although in our life, during our life, we will go through so many goals, so many missions. But this should be the ultimate mission of our life, that I want to go back home, back to Godhead in this lifetime. At least we should have this aim, this mission, and pray to Krishna, please help me to come to you. And then Krishna will help us. So this is the meaning of Mat Parmo. Mat Karm Krit, Mat Parmo. We dedicate our activities to serving Krishna. And then we make him the ultimate goal of our life. Then Mad Bhakta Sangvarjita. We have to become devotee of Krishna. Mad Bhakta. How do we become devotee of Krishna? Krishna himself is saying how you become devotee of Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, as well as in Srimad Bhagavatam and other scriptures. Machchita madgat prana bodhayanta parasparam kathyanta shimamrityam tushyanti charamanticha. This is how you will become devotee of Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakhyam Atmanivedanam. This wonderful shloka has come from the lotus mouth of a Mahajan, a great devotee of Sri Hari, Sri Krishna, Prahlad Maharaj. 9 processes of devotional service. So Prabhupada is explaining in the purport that if anyone can do 9, great. If anyone can do 8, great. 7, great. 6, 5, 4, 3, even 1. So anyone who can do even 1 process, if we can engage in 1 process of devotional service out of 9, then Prabhupada is saying in the purport that he or she will achieve perfection. This is how powerful devotional service is. Parikshit Maharaj simply heard Srimad Bhagavatam, Shravanam. Shukdev Goswami spoke Srimad Bhagavatam, Kirtanam. Hanumanji Maharaj, he served the Lord, Dasyam. Lakshmiji served the lotus feet of the Lord, Padasevana. Similarly, there are other devotees who engage in one process of devotional service and they achieve perfection. So this is the process of devotional service. In this Kali Yuga, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has made it very simple. His teachings have been summarized in 3 parts. So Mahaprabhu's teachings are that we chant the holy name, then we serve the Vaishnavas. So Namirichi Jivedaya Vaishnavar Sevan. 3. We chant the holy name, develop the taste for the holy name. We have this compassionate mood for living entities. In the purport, very interestingly, Prabhupada is saying that if someone, a devotee, who thinks to benefit his neighbor, will achieve the mercy of the Lord. So this is how simplified it has become. The devotional service has been simplified for us, that even someone is thinking that how can I benefit, do some benefit to my neighbor. He will achieve the mercy for glance of Lord Sri Krishna. So Mad Bhakta, then Sanghavarjita. Sanghavarjita is avoiding the association of people, worldly minded people, those who are averse to Krishna consciousness. So this is a challenge for those who work 8 hours, 10 hours a day and mix with worldly minded people. We have to. So this is explained by our acharyas, that we only associate with worldly minded people or others as long as it is required. Just like you go to an office or a place of work, so you find different kinds of people. Some like who chat near the coffee machine for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Some people chat unnecessarily. Some people go for lunch together. So we just associate with others as much as it is required. Just like you go to a supermarket, you speak to the person as much as it is required. You're not there to have a big long chat. So as much as is required, we associate. Now, this Sanghavarjita is important because the kind of association we have in our life, that's the kind of qualities we'll have in our character. There was a research done in Birmingham City University some years back by a famous, a very renowned criminologist. So he did research interviewing how people become criminals. So he interviewed youngsters, particularly hundreds of them, how they became criminals in young age. And then he came to the conclusion. And his conclusion was that these people were not criminals to start with. All of them said that we never wanted to commit this crime, heinous crime or any crime. But then why did you commit? They said because we had some mates, friends, who were criminals. And they used to talk about crimes as if this was such a great heroic work, you know. Why kill somebody? Why stole this car? So they talk about the crime as if this was such a heroic work. And I think, you know, it's fun, It's great. And this is, so initially they thought, no, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to steal somebody's car. I don't want to stab someone. But because they continued associating with criminals, eventually they became criminals. So now the same example applies to devotional service. That if we associate with people who are devotees, then eventually one will become a devotee. And we have seen this. There was one mafia in Russia. Indradhan Maharaj describes in his diary. So all his mafia friends were killed. But somehow he was spared. So he saw devotees, and then he fell in love with one devotee, one Mataji. So she took him to the temple, and he found shelter. Not only shelter, he found that his material life has finished. Eventually, he became a devotee, got initiated, gave up his criminal life. So just association, and he was not intending. Somehow he fell in love with this Mataji, devotee, and his life changed. Association. So mad bhakta sangvarjita nirvara sarvbhutesu yasa mamiti pandava. Nirvara. A devotee has to be non-envious. This is very, very important. So Mahaprabhu's teaching is Jivodaya. So Jivodaya is being non-envious. We have 4 regulative principles, no meat eating. So this is Jivodaya. But Jivodaya, non-enviousness also goes further. So not having envy to any living being, nirvara. And not having envious dealings even amongst devotees. So how do we practice this non-enviousness? Just start saying Krishna's mercy on devotees. When we see others' qualities, then that enviousness will go. And taking inspiration from those qualities. Otherwise, if we don't have that attitude, then even brothers or sisters born from same family, same parents, will also become envious. You might have seen 2 sisters became bloodthirsty of each other, 2 brothers become bloodthirsty of each other because of that envy. So appreciating others' good qualities. So in 20 minutes, we have tried to touch upon the important points from this success formula of Bhagavad Gita. It's already 6 o'clock, so I'm going to stop here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much. That was a really, really enlightening class. I was really getting into it. It's a shame that we're running out of time. So we'd like to invite you to continue this class next Sunday, if that would be okay with you. And it's such a lovely topic. And we got so much out of it.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. So do join us next week, and I'm sure everybody else would be eager to hear the continuation of this class. Some very, very nice points to take home there. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
So we'll now go over.
Prabhupada ki jai.
We'll now go over to the temple, and we have Guruvani and Jainamai ready to sing the Gaura Arti. So we'll switch over to the temple now. Hare Krishna.
Namayam Vishnupadhaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namayam Vishnupadhaya Krishna Prasthaya Vedanta Swamini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Susvati Pachakya Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Rama
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Jaya Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Radhe Jaya Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Radhe Radha Madhav Jaya Madhusudan 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 Jaya Madhusudan Jaya Manima 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 Jaya Manima Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Radha Raman Radha Raman Radhe Jaya Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Jaya Sitaram Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagami Nayana Patagami Baba Turi Jai Jagannath Jai Jagannath Jai Shama Sundar Pyare Jagannath Jai Jagannath Jai Balaji Jai Subhadra Jai Maharani Jai Subhadra Jai Baladeva Jai Jai Sachidanand Gaura Hari Krishna Priya Chandana Nadiya Bihari Jaya Nitya Chan Jaya Nitya Chan Jaya Nitya Chan Diga Chakradhar Nityananda Ram Jaya Nityananda Ram Nityananda Ram Jaya Nityananda Ram Eka Chakradham Eka Chakradham Eka Chakradham Eka Chakradham Jaya Sachidanand Gaura Hari Krishna Priya Chandana Nadiya Bihari Oh Gaura 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 Hari Gaura 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 Hari की जय नंद कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय नामा शास्त्र हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री गदाधर श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय गंगमय यमुना की जय भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय प्यारे से सीता चांद की जय जगन्नाथ बुद्ध की जय राधा माधव राधा गोकुलनंद सीताराम क्षमान की जय पंचसत्य की जय सगो संविधान की जय गुरु परंपरा की जय गौर प्रेम हरि हरि बोल।
Hare Krishna. Thank you to everyone in the mic for the RC, and thank you to Sudarshan and family for the lovely main RC. Thank you very much. So now we'll move on to Nashinga Dev prayers. So continued prayers for His Holiness Jay Patak Swami. Also prayers for the late, recently departed Makibayo Dedra, and prayers for their family. Also prayers for Daniel, so a friend of Bilaji's. He phoned today, so he's requiring some protection prayers. Also for Sunil, Subhash's brother, who has passed away recently from leukemia. There's also continued prayers for Brahmandri Mataji for her continued recovery, and to Shraddha Devi Dasi for her wrist, broken wrist, recovery of that, and Shravan for his difficulty, breathing difficulties at night and sleepless nights. So the list goes on. If there's any others, we do ask for continued prayers. Also, I see Santosh Uncle is on. Santosh Uncle, who's in London at the moment, a dear friend of our father's. Continued prayers for Santosh Uncle to get better and stay in good health. And for the rest of the devotees, the rest of the congregation, for our temple, please stay protected, please stay safe. And please, Lord, keep everyone protected from COVID-19 and help us find a recovery soon so we can all come back to your temple and do congregational chanting and kirtan together in your temple. So we'll go over to Gaurang, little Gaurang from Milton Keynes. Hare Krishna.
Hi Krishna.
Are you ready to sing the Shingadev prayer?
Yes.
Yes? Is it your favorite?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay then. Okay. Start. Thank you.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Prahlada
Praladalaine Hiranyakashipurvashah Shilatankanakalaye Ito Narsingha Parato Narsingha Yeto Yami Tato Narsingha Bahe Narsingha Hridaye Narsingha Narsinghamadin Charanam Prapade
Sabakaya Kamaraba Nakam Haruta Shinga Tahi Nagashipum Tanendam Pajita Laya Hayupa Jagadisha Hai Jaya Jagadisha Hai
Ratamalavarininakam Adhuta Sindham Dalika Hiranyakashipu Samvrinda Yehudika Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Udava, Jaya Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Jaya Hare Bol, Bol, Hare Jaya Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Hari Bol, 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 Hari Bol. ओम विष्णु विनाश नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरुदेव की जय, बुद्ध की जय, हरे कृष्ण Thank you, Maji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. It was very nice. We really enjoyed that. And I'm sure Lord Nrsimhadev really enjoyed it too.
Thank you.
Would you sing again for us next time?
Yes.
What would you like to sing?
Yeah. Now?
Yes. Yes. What do you like to sing? Narasimha? Prabhupada Arti?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So learn something next time and you can sing another Dono Bhajan, a glorification. I can hear little Lali in the background there as well trying to sing. Thank you, Gaurang. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Nandini.
Hare
She's a born singer. She'll be on soon. So thank you very much for Sunday program. So now the part I'm sure you've all been waiting for, the reveal of the snowmen. today. So we had a lovely day of snow today after a long time. So many devotees, many children and others have made snowmen, and they took pictures and footage of their arts of work. So we shall show the video now. So Sudarshan Prabhu has quickly whipped up and made the video. So we will have a look. Sudarshan, are you ready? Yep, there we are. So enjoy.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare.
Hare Krishna. So who do you think won? A position you can unmute now. It's a free chat. So what did you think of the video? Rita Vadgama.
गुरु सेवक बोल रहा आप पे विनर.
Rita.
I think everybody's was nice. Everybody made a really good effort, and I think they all deserve a prize.
I think so. I think
they all done very well. They done hard work in the cold.
Yes.
We're just sitting indoor and watching. It's lovely. They just make us happy to see that.
If anyone wants to do any more, they can come and clean the snow off my car if they want.
It was brilliant. We had a book distributor. We had Guruvani's traveling snowman. I said, "Why is it called a traveling snowman?" She said, "Well, when it melts, it goes away." So it disappears. But no, they were really nice. They're really good. And Sudarshan, did you see the prasad? Well, there's some prasadam pics as well today. I know it's
I like the snowman where he's got the hair at the back as well. That's really, very thoughtful. Yes. The Vaishnava hairstyle. Yes.
Yeah, I'll share that now. 1 second.
So it's a party today, and
they all deserve the big applause. Actually,
yes, they do definitely. Yeah. So it's a Gayatri day today. So some devotees made new things, which is quite nice. So we had fairy cakes, Gayatri fairy cakes from Malok, and then we had here we are.
Oh, I made first time Samupuda.
Ekadashi pancakes by Radha Roop, and they look lovely. They also look like waffles. And Ekadashi fairy cakes by Look this morning. Really good, by the way. the chef. And then Sudarshan sent something across. So they had a nice is it sabudana meal? Sabudana and a butternut squash, and a nice plate of Kalya Prasad there. So happy Ekadasi to all the devotees. Enjoy your samo today. And like we have daily announcements now, we have daily, there we go. Thank you for that. So what's that, peanuts? What did you make, Sudarshan?
Let's look at buckwheat.
Meat, sweet potato, paneer and aloo sabji, grapes, peanuts, fried, roasted aloo, and buckwheat.
Oh, fantastic. So, very nice Ekadasi Prasadam today. So just a few announcements quickly. We'll continue with our daily Krishna book reading from tomorrow. The weekends we have the book club, and then we have Sunday program. So do tune in for that. And then next month is looking forward to Northern Prabhu's Appearance Day. So the festival will obviously be online. So please look out for the dates. And if there's anything else that anybody else wants to share, please do. You can unmute your mics and make any comments or share. Thank you for joining in today. I hope you all enjoyed the program.
Thank you. It was beautiful.
Thank you so much. Lovely program. Very, very sweet. Everybody done very well. And plus the host and co-host on the top of that, controlling everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Hari Bol, nice, amazing Sunday program.
Hari Bol, everybody. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Lovely program today. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna. It's your bedtime. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.